Welcome everyone to Flyte's contributor meetup. Today is September 28th, and well, we have a kind of short agenda for today. The meeting's being recorded and it falls under Linux Foundation's Code of Conduct. So I will share my screen. Oh, where are you? Here. Right. Great. Yeah, attendees list, totally optional, and we know each other, but just for the record. Anyone?
This is last week's. You should make a copy. Oh, wait, you already did. Sorry.
Yeah, I need to push the notes and remove this from here. Yeah, cool. So I don't see anyone joining for the first time. Cool. All right, new RFCs. I didn't see any exactly new RFC, but I saw that the simplify retry behavior one has some activity. Apparently, from the point of view of Fabio and the authors, I can't remember the name. Sorry. It's done. Implementation is done. It's open for review, ready for review. So ask for a review there and see if we can move this to done. At least we consider this accepted for sure. Now the question is if the implementation is done, well, probably after the reviews. Is there any comment around this one? No? Cool.
Yeah, it's looking good. I noticed that Fabio's handled the comment that Dan made.
Mhm.
Pretty pumped about this because this is a area of confusion. So
Eduardo, have you seen any of the stuff around some folks using like labels and node selectors, and this potentially conflicting or clashing with like the fourth retry or the whatever the last retry after you switch from spot instances and it switches to an on-demand? We it's maybe a special case that we can talk about later, but I think some folks are using these kind of manual labels to map certain jobs to certain instance types, and you could have a situation where there's like a taint on an on-demand instance and everything is spot by default, which might break this kind of nice functionality we have where on the last retry you switch from spot to on-demand. Probably not in scope for this conversation, but maybe something relevant. We could just look at this and see how it if it extends or fits this situation.
it is just tangentially related. Like this is more about like Flyte's notion of what we consider a user a retry versus a system retry. But yes, definitely. But I'll make one comment. If we have people out there who are like, we're aware of this distinction that we made for like the last attempt. Like at that point, we should assume that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, awesome, cool. And I'm just out of a point of curiosity, like, do we surface the system retry budget in like any of the logging or anything as a result? If not, we could like maybe add a follow-up request or something that says expose the system level retry budget when one is made versus like a user level retry.
Yeah, part of this RFC, John, is to like to clarify the behavior there, but like it's all a bunch of settings now. You know, we don't really help the user understand where the budget's being spent. And this is what this is about, this RFC.
Cool.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. All right, next up in the working group updates, I saw that for the config override working group, the most recent update is basically Keaton's proposal for the example, and it's still in consideration for the LinkedIn team to implement this. That's the information I have. Is there any other update around work in this working group?
Maybe I can speak to this. Yeah, I don't have anything more. So last update I've heard is the same. Byron said, given the amount of work this is, LinkedIn is reconsidering whether they're implementing this. I think it would be nice to know if they're not, because then we can, Fabio and myself could get back on track with this. We kind of they took over, and we figured they're more engineers, and so we let them. But if they're not doing it, I think it would still be worth implementing potentially, unless someone has any objections.
Bernard, I think this makes sense. E, are you in the call? Do you know any news from Byron? Like, I know that he was experimenting with this alongside with that other PR to like make data classes better.
I don't think he's been working on this actively. Do you know?
Yeah, last time I talked to Byron, he said like he is very busy this quarter, but he will try to work on it in the like early next year, hopefully.
The yeah, Byron was started working on the data class, the mappable path thing instead, so which was not an RFC, but I think yeah, it kind of fell off.
All right, cool. Thank you.
I'm not sure how to proceed with this. Like, I know that like the problems with the current proposal that Byron brought up. Like, I don't think we updated the text of the RFC to handle them yet.
It also feels a bit like we're back in the design stage a little, especially with this document, which is sadly not PR to the RFC or so. But yeah, it seems like we're back at the drawing board a little.
Agreed. But I think the problem now is that I don't think Byron will have time to update the RFC, and at the same time, like we wanted to make progress on this, so I don't know. Maybe it might be worth just like syncing with him.
Yeah, sounds good. I can check in with him, and if not, I think Fabian and myself can take this forward and see how much this differs, and whether we need to change the RFC and take care. Yeah, I should
Thanks,
have
man.
a bit more time also this next quarter to implement stuff again. It's been a bit busy lately, but now in winter it's usually a bit easier.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. All right. Any ideas in the incubator? I didn't see anything. So we can skip this one unless you want to discuss anything here.
Wait, there was one thing. Was it you who suggested that we turn one of the bugs into an RFC discussion? Or am I misremembering things?
Yeah, probably I suggest that for the GPU machine type thing, but
Yeah.
I guess yeah, we need to check again because there are others that are good candidates. For example, this one. Yeah, I don't know if we want to go through these ideas probably asynchronously and explore which of them are good candidates for RFCs. because there are a number of good ideas.
Yeah. Let's think offline, David. I think that's a good idea to do one pass on this. Just
Mm-hmm. Cool. Cool. Right. And well, okay, in the open mic or questions section, status of the monolith or
I
monorepo.
was going to put the monorepo there, Bernard, but thanks for prompting me. So the current status is we have a beta release that was built off the monorepo, and today I am posting creating a PR in each of the components that will teach the creators of PRs that are still open how to transform those PRs into like the monorepo PRs. And that guide will work regardless, because my plan is a week from now, we're just going to mark all the component repos as read only. Just trying to be a good citizen there, but that's the plan. Like, you can start already using it if you feel like it.
Okay, so that was my question, because I rebased my fork the other day, and
you saw a bunch of stuff, huh?
And I saw a bunch of stuff popping up, and I wasn't sure. Like, I wanted to debug something, and so I just reverted back to an old commit where things weren't there. But if you say it's ready for trying, I'm happy to try it out. And
start,
okay.
And if you find anything, just like ping me on Slack. Like, the expectation is that it's ready for prime time.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Eduardo. All right. Cool. Anything else you'd like to discuss here? Questions? No. All right. Well, that was quick. So
I would have one question. Sorry.
Sure.
We're currently having an issue with Propeller, and with some like nodes not failing where they should be failing. And I've raised an issue and everything just to be so that we have it on record. But I'm happy to debug it. Dan has also pointed me to places where things might be failing. But I think I have a more general question of, does anyone have a good strategy of debugging Propeller, especially since all the things happen at the same time? And for example, workflows are evaluated all the time. And so like if you put a breakpoint somewhere, it might be that you hit this breakpoint 200 times before the error pops up. And especially for exploratory, because I don't have a very good sense of all the internals of Propeller, it's a bit hard to get into the right spot. So I'm wondering if someone has any tips or techniques that I could use to prove there, or do you just need to know roughly where it is and then start looking?
That would be ideal, huh? But Bernard, if you have a more specific question, I would tag Dan, on like a maybe asking for initial pointers or something. But
oh no, he has. I've asked, and he's been great and pointed me to the right thing just like 2 hours ago. So I haven't had a chance to check. Okay. I was mostly wondering, not that I'm going off in a completely wrong direction. There's an easy way to figure things out. Okay.
Yeah, the joys of debugging concurrent code. It's hard. Yeah, let us know how we can help. This, yeah. Sometimes bugs are very hard.
Yeah, I feel it there. It's just a very complex system, with lots of knobs and lots of lines of code.
Thank you, Bernard. All right. Any other question? Discussion topic? No? Well, with that, thank you all for your help. Thank you all for joining, and yeah, hope to see you in the next one.
All right.
Rest of the
Thank
day.
you. Bye.